Here are some highlights of this program.
Hello everybody.
Welcome to Brainstorm exclusive interview.
Our education should be corrected, adapted, and updated.
Live better, they can send their children to school because they can interact with their authorities.
Mechanics, electricity, computer science, innovation,
And we know that it's a brainstorm.
You yourself, after watching this interesting program, notice the final statement made by our notable guest, a brand new one. Hello everybody and welcome to Brainstorm Broadcast. The Democratic Republic of Congo has a tremendous potential for business of the great number of fields. There is a great bunch of opportunities of potential for business. However, there are some challenges to overcome in terms of a tax payment. So how can this problem be overcome or to be addressed? Joining me now on this set is Mr. Mfumu Chamba Gaston, President of Political Party Generation 4. Hello, sir. Welcome to this program.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I'm the honor to thank you for accepting my invite, to invite me to come and talk about the issue that's affecting the Republic Democratic of Congo.
Thank you so much for joining us. Today's theme is business climate and social well-being. It's true that in Congo we talk a lot about business climate, and at the same time we want the population to enjoy a well-being. And then before we kick off the topic, I want you to tell us what is a business climate in terms of economy. If you answer something.
Business climate, it's hard to describe it because I think the TRC business does not work with no productions. It's all about buy and consume, and there is no a way we can talk about business in the DRC because we're all depending on importations. It just doesn't produce nothing except selling mineral. So our fight and the message we are sitting here to discuss all about taxations. Okay, we're sitting in the country where the business people cannot operate. The investors cannot walk in because of what you call taxations, which goes to the point whereby we cannot explain more much than explaining that social of the people does not exist. There's nothing on plate for the people, especially for the poor.
Yes, not many people understand that fact,
Yes.
that the business climate is not really good. And then there are many sectors. It's true that production is more targeted in the mining sector, and other sectors could be also exploited, be used in order to help a country move forward. But we want you to watch the following video focusing on business climate change. Please take a look at it and we'll be back.
Climate change is here. It's making headlines daily through intense heat waves, catastrophic wildfires, stronger hurricanes, prolonged droughts, and rising sea levels.
Societies worldwide have felt its impact, and businesses are forced to adapt.
We have an intergenerational problem. Even if we reduced all greenhouse gas emissions to zero tomorrow morning, there will nevertheless be climate change.
Business and Climate Change is an online course that covers the science, economic impact, and business implications of climate change.
Having an awareness and getting good science that's relevant to your business will allow you to better understand how your business might be impacted over time.
Throughout the course, you'll meet Harvard faculty and business leaders from multiple industries. These experts will share real climate change scenarios they've faced. You'll apply course concepts to understand, analyze, develop, and communicate business decisions you can apply to your industry or role.
I talk about mitigation, reduction, but I also talk about adaptation and resiliency because that is the reality that we now face.
Climate change is not only an environmental issue, it is an everything issue.
The entire planet is going to retool itself over the next 30 years. Tap into that ethical imperative, that passion.
Empower your teams to put an environmental lens on all aspects of their area of responsibility.
Prepare yourself and your company for the business risks and opportunities created by climate change.
We look forward to welcoming you to Business and Climate Change.
But here I want to know the link between business climate and the social well-being. Is there any connection? Because if people know the connection, then they could take it seriously.
Yes.
Is there any link?
Yes, of course there's a link. Remember, who fixed the market or the social of the people are business people. Those were importing goods. Imagine you're importing a raw bottle of water at the price of 0 point something or $1. But when you look in the country, you find a tax that is 0.7 cents dollar. How much you can sell that bottle? Of course, you have to put it $2. The Republic Democratic of Congo is the country, especially in Kinshasa, you were sitting, without not counting the provinces, whereby you will see a mother of a family having a capital of 50,000 francs Congolais as his capital to run business with. He like sells vegetables, and per day he has to pay 5 taxes, which sometimes are not even arriving in the reserve bank. You know, it's eaten somewhere on the road. So when he land there with his food to put down, with vegetables, there's a first ticket, second, third, fourth. If he doesn't pay it, the next coming 2 hours, they start chasing him. So you'll understand that people start contacting us and then complaining and insulting the head of the state, which is the President of the Republic, His Excellency President Tshisekedi, who's been actually victims of some of his members of the cabinet, because by knowing the President of the Republic, he's not a man, first of all, of that caliber. He's a man with a lot of integrities, who always fight for his people, who has wished that his cabinet could have helped him. You know, thirdly is that the people that are appointed to the portfolios, they don't look after the people. I think they're mostly looking about their pocket, and then with so many promises, empty promises, and they don't really care about people in the market. Because when you talk about economy, you must go in the ground, thinking of how the bread and the good of the first necessities, like bread, water, salt, your sugar, they come your tea. So if those prices are not well calculated, you don't need to accuse nobody except from accusing the state.
Okay, accusing the state, but I think it's very difficult for us here in Congo to understand that the problem is a little bit a complex issue. Yeah. But when you want to lay out outside to other people, can you tell them what exactly? Is it an economic problem or a political one?
I think it's both.
It's both?
Yes.
And then how could good governance help just to improve business climate in terms of, you name many problems, tax payment for investors is very tough and so forth, politicians themselves. So how could those things be handled easily in order to find a problem, to find a solution?
My fight is the taxations and the social of well-being of the Congolese is my fight. That is my topic. I wrote a letter to the head of the state. I read a letter to the head of the state, to the Premier Minister, Deputy Premier Minister in charge of Interior, Deputy Premier Minister in charge of Economy, the head of the National Intelligence, which is the honor. I wrote a letter to Census, which are just the Census, Cyber Criminal, National Criminal, have responded today. I'll have appointment with them. National Advice in the Secretary of the President, they haven't responded. The immigration haven't responded, and the top advisors in the economy of the country haven't responded. So I'm waiting for those responses, include the President of the Republic, we asked them to reduce, because after my research, I discovered that the problems is not about the importation of the good in the country. It's about the taxations. You know, there's a new law, if you can look, you can compare it in Brazzaville, Angola. You know, recently there were a problem in Angola just because of the price that raised up on the bread. But in the DRC, nobody cares because people have dollar. None of the product in the DRC or what DRC produce the most is the mineral. They don't produce nothing, or it's a food or whatever. They don't produce nothing. We have only mine to produce, and that mine is sold in dollar.
Yes, but we know the population is the main consumers of what is produced, and when there is a price,
what is imported?
Inflation.
They're importing. They don't produce nothing.
Yeah,
there's no production here.
But it seems that they are indifferent. They don't say anything. They don't speak out. What's the problem?
I can tell you, my brother, the Congolese don't know where to go and cry. We are crying in their behalf. We are here to ask the head of the state and those in the world where they can hear us, who can have a time to explain to the head of the state to try and give chance to the investors to come in the country. You know, when investors work in the country, there will be a creation of jobs. There will be jobless. That's going to be dealt with. There will be enough amelioration of the condition of the living of the people, especially for the country whereby we have 112 million, whereby maybe it's 1% of the people that enjoy the wealth of the country. And the rest are in a very difficult situations. That's why I see people are running away, going to overseas, trying to go somewhere to get what we eat, why can they have a better life? We are asking from the head to the head of the state because his members of the cabinet are not standing with him.
Really?
I really assuming my weight.
Yeah.
And I make sure that is with the point that I'm saying. The members of the cabinet of the president, the ministers of who are in the governor of Mama Sumino, I can call them the M23.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
The real M23 are not those one in the Goma, because Goma just Goma, Nord and Sud Kivu, half of them. Because we still have half of it. But those one who are taking the directions of the rest of the 24.5 provinces are the ministers and the governors who are making suffer the people who are not affected by the war. I remember before that law of the new finance law of 2025 came out, I think it is not even 6 months, 3 months now for now. It's in the Journal Officiel, you can check from there, you'll find it.
Yeah.
It was been released a week after that. The Minister of Health, who are great, is Dr. Roger Kamba. He announced that we have a cholera in the country.
Wow.
The people must drink the well-treated water.
Wow.
After a week of DGDA, launch the collection of the tax on the produced water in Congo, which is very unfair. Which is torturing the poor who cannot afford a bottle of water at 500 francs Congolais. The bread from the Pain Victor, it went up because the tax has been maximized. What they say to people, what is the thing in French? Or they says we are maximizing the receipt of the state. Fiscality we are getting. No, it's going to their pocket. Not to the interest of the people.
Yeah.
And those ministers must be punished. The President of the Republic must punish them. We must have a integrity minister who have integrities, who cares about the people more than they care about their pocket.
Okay, this is a good analysis, but you know, the folks who are watching you right now, they can understand as well. If they try to look at the things in your perspective, to see really there is a close connection between business climate and also social well-being. Please, ladies and gentlemen, look at this video that defines what this real social well-being is. Please take a look at it and we'll be back.
What is well-being? Well-being is often described as the state of being comfortable, healthy, or happy. People who enjoy high levels of well-being are described as flourishing. In this context, flourishing means that the person enjoys feelings of happiness, contentment, and curiosity, and is able to engage fully with what is going on around them. Flourishing also means functioning well in the world. The person experiences positive relationships, has some control over their life, and has a sense of purpose. Well-being, therefore, isn't simply the opposite of ill-being. Just looking at what causes distress won't necessarily help us to identify the factors that give rise to well-being. Many researchers in the field have worked over many years to be able to more closely define well-being, with many agreeing that it is a global assessment of a person's quality of life, according to his or her own chosen criteria. The World Health Organization agreed that this is a broad-ranging concept, affected in a complex way by the person's physical health, psychological state, personal beliefs, social relationships, and their relationship to features of their environment. Understanding the role of our environments, and in particular our built environment, is an important area of research, as we spend up to 90% of our time either inside buildings or vehicles. If we can design and construct buildings that improve our well-being, why wouldn't we?
So coming back to what you were saying right now, we want to know exactly who is in charge of taking taxes, because it seems that there are people who can come, we don't know nowhere, can get to the market and start taking money from sellers, and so the money, the destination where it goes, we do not know. There's a kind of mess. How can things be fixed and will be worked out, especially in the way people work, especially president, head of state, collaborators? Is it a mindset problem? If so, what can be done to improve, or what kind of qualities do they need to show off in order to bring things or to improve things in a global way?
I think the runners and the people who are supposed to handle the responsibilities of looking after the well of this taxations and all this augmentation of the tax or reducing of the tax to bring in the investors, the people in those sectors are not in their places. That's what I can tell you now. The president have appointed people. Somehow, when they came to the head of the state, they tell them that they're capable to do something.
Yeah.
But when they give them the portfolios, they're unable even to perform, because they're all Congolese. They're all living in this country with their families, and you cannot tell me that they don't go to the market. The market is not this big shop that we are seeing in town everywhere here. It also where the majorities of the consumers goes to shop.
Yeah. But in Congo, there is a lower and upper Congo. There are those who are on top. They don't go to the market for popular market. They go to the supermarket. They can buy items even though the price is high. So, they don't care.
So the most important slogans of the President of the Republic is called the people first.
Yes.
Le peuple d'abord is a people first. The people first, that is the slogan of the number one of the state. His Excellency Mr. President Tshisekedi. I would love to say that to Mama Suminwa, the first Premier Minister, woman that we have in this country, to try herself and work without informing or tip people in that I'll be passing in the market.
Yeah.
As a mother, she will cry.
Yeah.
Because I know I cry every day. If I reach to write a letter to the head of the state, it's because of what we are seeing.
Yeah.
So it's not like they don't say it, they don't care. We are in the country whereby people prefer you to come to them and ask them bread, not them showing you how you can make yourself a bread. So for me, the tax collectors who are 302 different people who are collecting tax in the DRC, in this country. There are 302 different companies that collecting tax, except the DGI, DGDR, OCC, and this order. There are 302. And they are collecting this tax. The tax is over almost 100 taxes in this country. And no businessman will work in, no investors will work in, because now we're just talking about the taxes without talking about retro commission, without talking about corruption. How can someone come here and invest to employ people in Congolese and to give them jobs or to give them something else?
I wanted to know exactly. The head of state is there, it can give instructions on how to work. You have the Minister of Economy, you have also lawmakers. So I want to know, even the opinion want to know, the role of all those taking the lead, Minister of Economy, lawmakers. Is there no follow-up once the price is set? And then overnight or tomorrow you go to the market, you notice there is a price rise. Who is supposed to make a follow-up? Lawmakers that don't do anything, Minister of Economy doesn't do anything. So can the head of state on his own give an order so that things could change all of a sudden?
No, I will not accuse the Minister of Economy, because when the law got passed from the Parliament, the Minister of Economy was not implicated, and the Minister of Economy is aware of what I'm talking to you now today. That he tried his best. But there are people, when they come with the context of upgrading the price of the tax in the market, they don't come with that idea. They will say because ABC, and they're even corrupting the MPs to go on with their plan. And the MPs get to sign this. What MPs are voted by the same poor people, because those are the voters. Some of these are politicians, they don't vote. Their children, the voting time, they are in overseas, they are studying, they are sleeping, they are drunk at home. But the poor ones who are voting are the one that MP don't look after. The MP cares more about what goes to their pocket. You know, I got MPs in the Parliament. I think we agreed in our group that an MP that takes money over the law that's gonna hit Congolese will be taken out from our groups.
Yeah. But there is an open secret. When someone has a goodwill to get things improved, so it's not welcome. There's a problem of corruption, and funding embezzlements, and all those things sometimes result in lack of trust from outside investors. So how can that trust be earned in order to help Congo move forward in terms of business?
That's becoming the power of the President of the Republic. Most of the cases, the people who are in the position are not in their places. You know, I said it, there are M23 in the government, I repeat it for the 10th time. The President of the Republic is alone. I can tell you today, the President is alone. It's got, maybe he got 2-3 people, it's got not enough people that can help him. Because the President cannot look after the war and the social market. Is facing the challenge of the people that have been over like 3 decades, 4 decades, lying to the head of the state. Those are people around the number one. They've been with, some heads with Kasavubu, Mobutu, the former President Mose, the former President Kabila, and today they're with President Sekeri. They come with the same speech. And watching their speech is to dance for him and to tell him that everything is right in the market. Because he got no time, he's more focused on the diplomacy to find a solution for the war in the country. So my suggestion to the number one of the Republic, if you can hear from this interview worldwide, whoever can listen to it, whoever his number, to call on the number one of the Republic, to offer us a space to explain to him, or to recall himself, out of 100 taxes that they have imposed to the Congolese, at least to remove 20, especially on the things like water, bread, a product that is produced in the DRC. Anything that is produced in the DRC for the consumers who are Congolese must not pay taxes. Let's charge and tax the stuff that are import, but not the necessity like food. Anything that is produced in the DRC for people to consume cannot pay the tax. Water, why does the water has to pay tax?
Right.
What do we have to have a water at high price?
Yes.
Even water, bread, salt, things that we are producing locally, spinach like pondu, your vegetable. What do we have to pay? Make this women's, our mothers, grandmother to pay for it? What is really that going to produce or to bring in the province of Kinshasa?
Okay.
You know, that is our fight. Our fight is number one is President Felix Antoine Tshisekedi Tshilombo. Please, can you consult with your people? Give it a speech to the Congolese. Yourself. Ask them, your ministers, ask your tax collectors to withdraw 20 taxes and give free, and the slogan of Le Peuple d'abord et value.
Yeah.
That's what I ask from the number one of the Republic.
All right. In spite of many challenges, Congo is still optimistic, and even all those who want to do business here, they're welcome to come, and we hope that things will get improved in the days ahead. So please, let's take a look at this video focusing on top business in Congo, and we'll be back.
Here are 5 business stories making headlines in sub-Saharan Africa this week. Licensing rights for 30 oil and gas blocks in Democratic Republic of Congo went up for auction on Thursday, opening up parts of the world's second biggest rainforest to drilling. President Felix Tshisekedi says modern methods and regulations will limit the ecological impact. Activists and scientists warn that billions of tons of carbon could be released. Algeria, Nigeria and Niger have signed a memorandum of understanding to build a natural gas pipeline across the Sahara Desert, Algeria's energy minister has said. The 3 countries agreed in June to revive decades-old talks over the project, a potential opportunity for Europe to diversify its gas sources. Kenya's ethnic cohesion watchdog on Friday gave Facebook 7 days to comply with regulations, after reported violations in relation to next month's election. Advocacy group Global Witness said in a report that Facebook had accepted and carried more than a dozen political advertisements, which ran afoul of Kenyan ethnic cohesion rules. Parent company Meta issued a statement last week saying it had removed hateful content ahead of the vote. ArcelorMittal South Africa's shares fell 10% on Thursday after saying poor rail service, labour disruptions and the country's worst ever power cuts had driven steel production down. The South African unit of the world's second biggest steelmaker produced a little over 1 million tonnes in the first half of the year, down 30% from the same period the year before. And finally, Central African Republic's digital coin got off to a slow start on Tuesday, with just over 5% of the target sold in the hours after its launch. Concerns over transparency and a wider downturn in the digital currency industry appear to have hampered the sale of Car's Sango coin, through which the government aims to raise almost $1 billion over the next year.
All right. I know you got a lot to say, but there's a few times. If you could have a message, because you've already addressed a special message to the head of state,
I still have more.
And at the same time, I want to ask you before you say your closing remark concerning this topic, are you personally optimistic that things will get improved in the days ahead as far as business climate and social well-being is concerned?
That is our fight. The reason we're sitting here is because we are fighting for things to get from the west to better. We are asking from the number one of the Republic to not close the DGDA, to not close the DGI, to not close contribution, to not close. They must carry on. At least we must reduce the taxations. The tax is too high and it doesn't allow the investors to work in the country. Another thing that can add, they must also look on the charge at the border. No, we are the second one. The first one is in Brazil, the second is in Congo. We have the most expensive port in the world is in Brazil, the second one is in the DRC. Is in Congo Republic, the Democratic of Congo. Whereby if you want to, you bring your car in, your good in, some are even getting spoiled from the border, because they not allow it to come in. There's on the border, you'll find there's more than 75 taxes.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense. That's why even those who are importing goods in the country are making it very expensive.
Okay.
The cause of the problem and the chaos in the DRC is caused by serious taxations, which is dealing with the social health and well-being of the Congolese.
Okay.
People are affected because they suffer, the business people are getting, and the local entrepreneur are being in really mess. They don't help them. No one help the local entrepreneur. I'll give another example. I think those one who are listening to this in English. A Congolese does not getting a credit from no bank in Congo.
Why?
Nobody knows. But our brothers and sisters who come from overseas, Indian, Lebanese, with immediate effect. They come here 1 week, 2 weeks, the third week, he got credit from any bank here locally, and he starts small business. Tomorrow is a billionaire in Congo. A Congolese does not getting even the small micro credits.
Are Congolese trustworthy for those credits if they want to get?
They are many. I'm here. If you give me $50 million, I will never go to live Congolese to sleep hunger. I've farmed everywhere in the country.
Okay.
Where am I going to get money? You'll go to the government institution that gives money. We have been waiting for money for 2 years. The man that instructed by the person who don't want to name. 2 years. There's always a fake comment about giving that money to a Congolese. But if it's another person with a shining color, they'll give money to us.
Thank you so much for your insight. You laid out things clearly, and then you explained there are many factors that are at the root of this problem when it comes to business climate and social well-being. Thank you so much, Mr. Fumu Chiamba Gaston, president of political party Generation 4. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome, sir. I shall be all the time.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it was our pleasure to discuss this relevant issue, business climate and social well-being, and we focused on the Democratic Republic of Congo, showing the possibilities for investors to come. And in spite of all the challenges Congo is going through, there is still hope, a glimmer of hope that things will get better as you have followed this program. In the days ahead, we'll be dealing with other issues related to tax payment, even investment in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned on second national channel RTC2 Développement. Bye. Here are some highlights of this program.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Brainstorm exclusive interview.
Our education should be corrected, adapted, and updated.
Live better, they can send their children to school because they can interact with their authorities.
Mix, electricity, computer science, innovation,
And we know that this brainstorm.
Yourself, after watching this interesting program, notice the final statement made by our notable guest, a brand new one.